Hey everybody, this is the Marine with Backpacking with a Hammock. Now, once you have purchased a hammock, the next step is to decide which type of suspension to use and how to use it. In this episode of the Beginner's Guide to Hammock and Hammock Camping, we're going to look at some of the answers to those questions, plus how to achieve the ultimate hang. But first, the intro. Now we're going to look at the three most popular suspensions that are available when you purchase your hammock. The first one is going to be a strap with daisy chains or loops in there so you can adjust your hammock up and down. The second one is going to be different types of cinch buckles. And the third one is the Whoopie Sling. And also we're going to look at how to attach it to an anchor point. Now the anchor point is simply where the suspension attaches to the anchor, in this case the tree, and how to attach it to the hammock. And the hang point is where the suspension attaches to the continuous loop of the hammock and how to adjust it. Now there's basically two styles of straps. The first one has a loop on the end and no loop on the other end, and that's called a tree strap. And the other one that has a loop on one end and has a loop on the other end, this is called a tree hugger. Now there's three ways to attach a strap to a tree. The first way is taking that loop, putting it around the tree, and running your suspension through the loop. The pros with this, it's very lightweight, but a con on this is I have to weave it through there and try to get this Whoopie Sling through there, or a strap or cinch buckle. Now the second way to hang a tree straps around your anchor point or a tree is using a carabiner. Now you want to use a climbing carabiner, a heavy duty carabiner, because you don't want them to break because it may cause injury. So what you do is you take the carabiner, put it in the loop, real quick and easy to do. Now this system I like to use in the wintertime because in the wintertime my dexterity isn't too good and trying to loop it or using a Dutch clip. This way I can pop it on real easy. The cons on this, of all the three, this is the heaviest. Now the third way to attach a tree strap to the anchor point, which is a tree, is using a Dutch clip. Put this on the loop, and just like the carabiner, wrap it around and you're all set. Now the Dutch clip is lightweight, easy to use. I use it all the time except for winter time. Now when you hang the strap, you come around the tree. In this case I'm coming around the right side of the tree, and I bring the carabiner or the clip around to the right side of the tree and I hook it up, and that's how it will stay. It's very important that you wrap the strap around the tree and the hook or the carabiner comes on this side, because all the pressure is coming around this tree and not onto the strap here. It's evenly distributed around the tree and the pressure is not on the strap. A lot of people think you will bring the strap or the hook into the middle of the tree. Now you can see there's a lot of pressure on the strap and it may cause damage. And even worse is to bring it over on this side and pull it this way. You can see there's a lot of tension on here, and I've seen straps tear and break. So it's very important, you guys, make sure you have the carabiner or the Dutch clip on the side of the tree where you started the strap to go around. Now some companies will have the suspension attached to the hammock. If you get one that is attached to the hammock, I suggest taking it off and have a connection point to it. And the reason why is if it's raining and the suspension gets wet, you don't want to pack the suspension, a wet suspension, with the hammock. Now another way to hook up the suspension to the continuous loop on the hammock is called the Becket Hitch. So I have this on a whoopie hook now to hold the continuous loop up so you can see how I do this. So I have the tree strap connected to the tree. Now what you do is you take the end of the tree strap, bring it through that loop, bring it tight, bring it around, and you take this loop and put another loop inside there like so. And then you tighten it down Now take the whoopee hook off. And there you go. This is nice and secure. What's great about this is all you have to do is pull on this end piece and off it goes. This is very lightweight, but the con is, so when you go to adjust it, you got to untie the knot and tie it on. Now if you have a cinch buckle that was attached to a hammock and you detach it from the hammock and there, you still have this continuous loop on there, what you do is you take a carabiner, put it through the loop, and then you can attach it then to the hammock that way. Now another style of cinch buckle, this is from Superior Hammock. To attach it, all you do is bring the continuous loop of the hammock into that slot, and you bring this ring down and it secures it nice and tightly. Now other features on this cinch buckle, you have the 2 prongs there for a bridge hammock, and that hole there is so you can put a cinch buckle in there. If you have a continuous loop that's too thick, you can use a carabiner. Now next, the Whoopie Sling. Now the first way to connect your Whoopie Sling to the hammock is with a carabiner. Now this is a climbing carabiner, and you put the carabiner through the end loop, through the continuous loop on the hammock. Now the next way to hook up the hammock to the Whoopie Sling is you take the continuous loop on the hammock and you bring it through the hook of the Whoopie hook. It's that quick and simple. Now these are just some of the ways to attach the suspension to the hammock. First one we're going to look at is the Atlas strap style. This is from Eno. We'll also be looking at the Easy Sling from Sierra Madre. Now to adjust the Atlas strap, on the Atlas strap there's loops sewn in every 6 to 8 inches. And what you do is you take the carabiner on the end of the hammock, put it through the loop, and if you want to tighten it, you bring it up to the next loop. What makes the Atlas strap so popular is it's just so easy to use. You just put the carabiner in through a loop. Now this suspension is from Sierra Madre. It's called the Easy Sling. Instead of nylon or polyester or daisy chains in here, this is made out of amp steel, which is stronger, and it has 6-inch loops in here. So you take the carabiner on the end of your hammock, you find a loop, put it in there, and that's it. If you want to tighten it, you take it off and you go to the next loop. Now the cons of this type of suspension, they have increments of 8, 6, and Dutchware gear has a daisy chain that has increments of 3 inches. So if I'm going to adjust this hammock, I can only adjust it according to those increments. Now next, the cinch buckle. So now to adjust the cinch buckle, all you do is grab the end of the strap and you pull it and it'll tighten the hammock. Now to loosen it, the best way to loosen it is you take 2 fingers, you bring it around the end of those clips, but the trick is to grab this continuous loop of the hammock and take the weight off the hammock, put it at a 90-degree angle, and then you pull on it. Now the cinch buckle from Superior Hammock, just like any other cinch buckles, you grab the strap to tighten it, and you pull. But what's really nice with this one, I found this one to be the easiest cinch buckle to loosen. Some of the cinch buckles are really hard to loosen up. This one, you just grab the triangle, the top of it, put your finger in there, take your thumb, put it on the bottom, and it just slides super easy. Now next, the Whoopie Sling. Now the Whoopie Sling is made out of amp steel. It comes down and loops inside itself, and it comes out 6 inches later, is spliced in itself, and that's called a break. And to tighten it, you take this end and you pinch it and you pull, and it tightens the hammock. Grab the bottom part, pull, and now to loosen it, sometimes you got to milk this, loosen this up, and you grab the bottom end, and where the amp steel goes through, you lift it up a little bit and you just pull it. Pinch the bottom part on this end, with the end going through, you lift up and just pull it. Now this concludes the second episode of the Beginner's Guide to Hammock and Hammock Camping. The next episode we'll be looking at how to set up your hammock now that you have the suspension. Now if you like this video, please click the like button down below and share. If you found this video to be helpful and insightful, please hit that subscribe button. That just notifies you when the next video is coming out. And if you have any questions or comments, please write them down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is the Marine with Backpack with a Hammock. Thank you for watching, and God bless.